Hello everyone, how are you? And welcome to Siksha. This is class 10 science and ami pohibole goi asu chemistry periodic classification of elements. So periodic classification this is the first class hoy na. So aji okoman introduction korim periodic classification ki hoy okoman sam thik ase. So first class hoy okoman enjoy kori pohon thik ase. Let us start with the class overview. Mane aji amar class ki pohibole goi asu hetu sai lo. We'll be starting with Dobereiner's triad. Okay, periodic classification. আমি various periodic tables পঢ়িব লাগিব। মই তোমালোকক তাৰ আগতে আৰু অকমান কৈ থওঁ বাৰু। আমি ক্লাস 9 ত পঢ়িছিলো matter। matter পঢ়িছিলো নে? Class 9 ৰ first chapter পঢ়িছিলো matter। Second chapter ত আমি পঢ়িছিলো যে matter can be divided into pure substances and impure substances, মানে mixtures. And under pure substances আমি পঢ়িছিলো elements and compounds। পঢ়িছিলো না হেতু সো আজি আমি হে এলিমেন্ট পার্টটো পঢ়িম কারেন্টলি আমাৰ periodic table খন যদি তোমালকে দেখা পাইছা in our periodic table we have 118 known elements হয়নে 118 known elements আছে and as a science student by as a chemist it is our duty ki he gutekhini elements or properties physical properties or chemical properties or properties hini study kora ঠিক আছে what is the best way to study something we need to keep in mind that amount of 118 elements ase 118 elements ami jodi individually pohi jam bahut time consuming hobo ঠিক আছে so what we try to do is that we try to group them ami grouping kora start kori dilu not us like not me particularly us as in human beings ঠিক আছে আমি কি কৰিলো মানে সাইন্টিস্টৰ কথা কৈ আছো আমি কি কৰিলো we grouped elements বেলেগ বেলেগ সাইন্টিস্ট আহিলে বেলেগ বেলেগ ৰিসাৰ্চাৰ্ছ আহিলে বেলেগ বেলেগ ফিলসফাৰ্ছ আহিলে এন্ড বেলেগ বেলেগ ওয়েজ অফ গ্ৰুপ কৰা স্টাৰ্ট কৰি দিলে গ্ৰুপ কৰিলে ক্লাসিফাই কৰিলে সৰু সৰু টেবলস বনালে সো কেনেকৈ গ্ৰুপ কৰিলে কেনেকৈ ষ্টাডি কৰিলে হে গুটেখিনি পাৰ্ট আমি ডিসকাস কৰিম ইন দিস চ্যাপ্টাৰ okay there are many scientists june grouping of elements korile periodically classify koribole try korile and among those we need to study Dobereiner's triad Dobereiner's scientist ejoner naam hoy and he tried to classify elements so teu kenago classify korile hetu pohim Dobereiner's triad pohim then ami pohim limitation ami Dobereiner's triad kyo use nokoru itia currently ami kyo ei classification to use kora nai kyo eto follow kora nai hetu pohim then we will go for Newlands law of octaves Newland aru ejon scientist er naam hoy a law of octaves or limitations pohim Mendeleev's periodic table pohim a Mendeleev's periodic table or merits pohim and then demerits pohim ba limitations ko ba anomalies ko ঠিক আছে এই গুটেখিনি বস্তু আজি আমাৰ ক্লাছত পঢ়িম so let us do a short summary of our today's class ঠিক আছে আজি ক্লাছত কি কি পঢ়িম অকমান shortly কৈ থৈছো this first table that you see no a first table খন যে দেখা পাই আছা this is the Mendeleev's sorry not Mendeleev's this is the Dobereiner's triad ঠিক আছে Dobereiner scientist এজনৰ নাম হয় and এই scientist জনে কি কৰিছিলে he arranged elements on the basis of increasing atomic mass and দেখা পালে যে and কি কৰিলে he grouped elements in the group of 3 তিনটা elements or groups বনালে he was successful in making 3 groups এই তিনিটা গ্ৰুপছক কি বুলি কলে ট্ৰায়াডছ বুলি কলে তিনটা এলিমেন্টস আছে ইচ সো এটা গ্ৰুপক one triad বুলি কলে so he was successful in making 3 triads according to him তেওঁ কৈছিলে যে যেতিয়া এনেকৈ ট্ৰায়াড বনোৱা হয় then এই যোনটো মাজৰ এলিমেন্ট হয় for example আমি এই গ্ৰুপ A টো চালো এই মাজৰ এলিমেন্টটো সোডিয়াম হয় ওপৰত আছে লিথিয়াম তলত আছে পটাছিয়াম লিথিয়াম সোডিয়াম পটাছিয়াম এই মাজৰ এলিমেন্টৰ atomic mass will be approximately equal to the arithmetic mean of the other two মানে sodium or atomic mass to it will be close to the arithmetic mean of lithium and potassium similarly second group oru same e hobo third group oru same e hobo but ami Dobereiner's triad kyo follow nokor because he was only able to make 3 triads amosor iman elements ase tetiar samoyot iman elements discover hua nasile but still in nota elements otkoi besi elements discover hoisle and he was able to classify only these 3 groups okol tinita triad banabo parile baki khini te grouping koribo nuarile classify koribo nuarile triads banabo nuarile that is the major limitation why ami Dobereiner's triad etia follow nokoru then the second Second, মই কি পঢ়িম বুলি কৈছিলো second we will study the Newlands law of octaves. Newlands law of octaves, what he did is that atomic mass consider কৰি পেলাই elements elements কি কৰিলে arrange কৰিলে and কি কৰিলে তেওঁ groups of 8 ত divide কৰিলে groups of 8 ত divide কৰিলে আমি যদি এই ফালৰ পৰা চাও হাইড্ৰোজেনৰ পৰা start হৈছে এফালে অক্সিজেনৰ শেষ হৈছে 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 and then 8 number to আকৌ তলত আহিব ঠিক আছে and he said that এনেকুৱা the first elemental properties বোৰ ঠিক আছে first elemental properties বোৰ it is going to match with the 8th element মানে আমি হাইড্ৰোজেনৰ property আৰু ফ্লোৰিনৰ property যদি চাও according to him কি হ'ব match হ'ব আমি যদি ফ্লোরিনৰ property আৰু ক্লোৰিনৰ property চাও then according to him এই দুইটা match হ'ব similarly যিকোনো বেলেগ চাই লোৱা carbon and silicon nitrogen and phosphorus and কি হ'ব the first and the 8th elemental properties বোৰ match হ'ব বুলি তেওঁ কৈছিলে but there are a lot of loopholes in this classification that he did এই যে টেবলখন বনাইছে এই যে elements বোৰ classify বা group কৰিছে এইখিনিতে বহুত flaws আছে for example আমি কৰবাত দেখা পাই আছো দুটা elements একেলগে ভৰাই থৈছে why did he do that দুটা elements একেলগে কেনেকৈ ভৰাব পাৰিলে তেওঁ সবতেটো এটা element আছে ইয়াতে দুটা element ভৰালে so এটো এটা লুপহোল হয় যে কৰবাত দুটা এলিমেন্টস একটা স্লটতে ভৰাই থলে another loophole is that কিছুমান এলিমেন্টস যোনটো লাইনত আছে ঠিক আছে for example hydrogen fluorine chlorine আৰু এফালে cobalt nickel আছে তলত bromine আছে there are few elements যাৰ properties হে গুটে গ্ৰুপটোৰ লগত নিমিলে but still তাতে ভৰাই থৈছে cobalt আৰু nickel first of all তো একেলগে গ্ৰুপ কৰিছে cobalt আৰু nickelৰ properties বোৰ bromine chlorine আৰু fluorine ৰ লগত নিমিলে so কিয় ভৰাই থলে according to him the first and the 8th elements of properties বোৰ মিলিব লাগে but এই কেইটাটো তো মিলা নাই কেলে ভৰাই থলে হয় না নহয় another example মই দিব পাৰো we have iron see this is iron Fe মানে iron এই ironৰ property cobalt আৰু nickelৰ লগত মিলে okay অকমান মিলে but still বহুত difference আছে এই কেইটা elementsৰ মাজত ইমান difference কিয় আছে Okay, so there are many points that he could not explain. E gutekhini in details at ami discuss korim jeta ami in details at e table khon pohim. Okay, itia mo khali shortly koi thoisu. And then third we will be studying the Mendeleev's periodic table. Mendeleev's periodic table e bahut khini question or answer dibo parisile but still it was not the best. Mendeleev's periodic table eneko dangor table khonat he tried to group elements. Okay, eneko group elements group koribole try korile. He had 6 periods and 8 groups. 8 groups asile see 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 8 groups 6 period 1 2 3 4 5 6 6 periods eneko teu divide korisile elements and he arranged elements on the basis of atomic mass bahut khini questions or answer dibo parile but still we are not using the Mendeleev's periodic table why because point number 1 isotope position to explain koribo noarile isotopes are those juntu same atomic number thake but different atomic mass thake hydrogen or tinita isotope ase chlorine or duta isotope ase so jihetu atomic mass or basis on arrange korise isotopes mention thakibo lagisile je hydrogen or baki duta isotope code ase but mention kora nai isotopes so position of isotopes he could not answer that ঠিক আছে দেন মাঝে কৰবাত গ্ৰুপ খালি জায়গা আছিল ঠিক আছে মই এটা এখন টেবলত খালি জায়গা নাই বাৰু বাট মাঝে বহুত খালি জায়গা আছিল okay and then he also explained a lot of he also gave answers to a lot of questions but also bahut questions are answered now dibo para nasle so it's not the perfect exam it's not the perfect classification e gute table khon merits demerits gute khini ami details ot pohim jete ami details ot e table khon pohim etia khali moi eta duta mention kori doiso there are many more ঠিক আছে so okoman saila these are the tables and etia ami asol class to start korim where we will be explaining each and everything in proper details okoman sailo so this is all sailola etia ami properly discuss korim The first topic is reasons for periodic classification of elements. Moi tumalok koisu je currently we have 118 elements. 118 elements we have. Out of 118 elements, 94 naturally occurring hoy. I mean nature ot pai jao 94 and the rest they are artificially synthesized. ঠিক আছে নহলে laboratory synthesize করে. They are artificial. Out of 118, 94 are natural. The rest are artificially synthesized নহলে human made বুলি আমি কব পাৰো. Okay? Out of these 118 elements, Moki Goslo, as chemist, we need to know the properties of each and every element. Kyo janibo laga? Because we need 118 elements amar osort ase, we need to properly utilize them. Hey 118 elements ami properly utilize koribo lagibo, keneko use kore hetu janibo lagibo, so that we can use them to its full potential. That is why their proper study is important. That is why a proper classification is important, because 118 elements ami individually study kora mane it is very time consuming and gutekhini properties hoyto amar monot nathakibo pare. So what's the best way to study them? The best way to study them is to group them first, then study them as groups. That is why grouping is important. There are 118 elements known at present, and it is very difficult to study the properties of all these elements separately. So all the elements have been divided into few groups in such a way that elements in the same group has similar properties. Groups for enekwa bonwa hoise so that eta group of jiman elements ase, all the elements will have similar properties. Either ami physical kotha koi asu ba chemical kotha koi asu, they have similar properties. In this way, the study of large number of elements is reduced to the study of a few groups of elements. Ami jeta groups of bhogai dim the 118 elements, teta ki hoy jabo amar enekwa nohoy je we are studying 118 elements, we are only studying few groups. So amar study to ki hoy jabo, our study will be better, our study will be not time consuming, bahut time efficient hoy jabo. Okay, so our study will be better. A point keta likhi thobo para. Ketiaba khudibo pare classification e amak kihot help kore. So classification e amak kihot help kore. Number 1 likhibo para systematic study of elements. Elements or jada ami systematic study koribo paru. So point number 1 is systematic study of elements. Point number 2 likhibo para that we can properly find a relation between the elements. We can find relation between different elements. Our number 3 likhibo para proper study of the relations of the elements. Okay? So if you want mo gote point kita mo likhi dia nai, mo khali mukhot koi disu, so tumalke likhi loba. If you want full detailed sentences teta hola mo koi diba, I will provide you the notes. Thik ase? So this is all about why we should classify elements and what this classification actually gives us. Then next slide le goes now, what do we have here? First we will study about Dobereiner's triads. Okay, Dobereiners. Actually, Dobereiner was not the first person who tried to classify elements. He was not the first person. There agote aru ejon asile. Okay, he was Antoine Lavoisier. So Lavoisier ki korisile, very primitive level he tried to group elements, but it was very primitive. ঠিক আছে, বহুত primitive levelত কৰিছিলে. So that is why আমি Lavoisier classification পৰা start নকৰো. We will directly start with Dobereiner's triad. So Dobereiner ki korile, he tried to group elements, or he tried to periodically classify elements. Itia periodically classify he what to use na koro, ita simply comes he tried to group elements, and grouping or main what was the kunto basis of group korisle, he grouped elements on the basis of atomic mass. Thik ase? So Dobereiner's triad, moi hinda Dobereiner's picture hono loi ahi. So this is how he looked. His full name is Johann Wolfgang Dobereiner, but in short ami Dobereiner bole itiaba mention korim. Thik ase? Dobereiner was not the first person who started grouping of elements, but he was the first person june relations dekhwale between properties of elements on the basis of atomic mass. Monot rakhiba, atomic mass. Other than that, he had many contributions in the field of science. Bahut other contributions ho asile. For example, ki boli ko, platinum catalyst. Thik ase? He made observations on platinum as catalyst. Platinum as a catalyst over observations bonaisile, and he was the first person to do that. First scientist to do that. Okay, so itia ami okman pohilo. In the year 1829, in the year 1829, a German chemist, Dobereiner, put elements having similar properties together in groups of 3 called triads. So 1829 ki hoisle, a German chemist named Dobereiner. Full name Johann Wolfgang Dobereiner. So Dobereiner ki korisle, he put elements together in groups of 3. Put elements having similar properties together in groups of 3. Aru e eta group triad or naam kole. Eta group or ki naam hoy? Triad. ঠিক আছে, called triads. All the 3 elements of a particular triad had similar chemical properties. Is a similar properties boli koise physical properties or kotha koise na chemical properties or kotha koise. So he grouped them on the basis of their similar chemical properties. Mane eta triad ot 3ta je element ase, he 3ta element or chemical properties bur similar hoy. According to Dobereiner's law of triads, teo je grouping korile. Okay, he grouping kora pisot, he gave a law, okay, hetu Dobereiner's law of triads boli koy. So ketiaba directly hudi dia what is Dobereiner's law of triad. Tetia kintu a point to likhibo lagibo. So according to Dobereiner's law of triads, when elements are arranged in the order of increasing atomic masses, groups of 3 elements known as triads having similar chemical properties are obtained. Ekhini to buji paisa? The atomic mass of the middle element of the triad being equal to the arithmetic mean of the atomic masses of the other 2 elements. Koise ei tinita element or je triads banaise, moi tumako directly triads kita dekhai disu. This is group A, mane triad A, triad B, triad C. Nahole first, second but third triad. G enukwa kyo, these are the 3 triads. According to him, তেওঁ কি কৈছিলে major element to je ase, a major element or atomic mass is roughly equal to the arithmetic mean of the other 2, mane of the first and the third element. Ita amar first ase lithium, sodium, potassium. A sodium or atomic mass. Sodium or atomic mass, which is 23.0. It is roughly equal to, thik ase, directly equal hobo pare, nohole it is very close to. Okay, it is hekarne koa hoise, it is roughly equal to the arithmetic mean of the first and the third element. First hoise lithium, which is 6.9, plus last was a potassium, which is 39.0 divided by 2. Etu hoise arithmetic mean. Hane? To calculate kori saba, you will get a rough value which is equal to the atomic mass of sodium. Directly equal na paba, huh? But it is roughly equal to the atomic mass of sodium. Similarly, baki kita triads hoto hetue hobo. Group B swa, group C swa, tatu hetue hobo. Middle element or atomic mass is roughly equal to the arithmetic mean of the other 2. This is the Dobereiner's law of triad. According to him, etu koa hoisil. But ami Dobereiner's law of triad kyo use nokoru, kyo follow nokoru in our modern day-to-day life. That is why we need to study limitations. Limitations or pra directly question ahe. Hekarne ekhini points moi likhi disu, tumalike mo note down kori loba. Limitations. It failed to arrange all the then known elements in the form of triads of elements having similar chemical properties. That time mane kuntu year kotha koi ase 1829. 1829 not amar currently 118 elements ase, but 1829 not 118 elements discover hua nasile. There was a very small group of elements junto discover hoisile. Okay, and from that small group of elements teo okol 3ta group he banabo parile, mane okol 9ta element he group koribo parile, baki hini elements group koribo nuarile. So this is one of the major limitations of Dobereiner's triad. Iman elements ase, but okol 9ta he group koribo parile, okol 3ta he group banabo parile, baki hini elements or ki hobo. So this is a major limitation of Dobereiner's triad. Dobereiners could identify only 3 triads from the elements known at that time. Hetu kothai koise okol 3ta triad he banabo parile. Major limitation etu hoise. Okay.